I just pulled the all-nighter to finish Project Phoenix, our company's most important client deliverable. My boss, Mr. Henderson, had been breathing down my neck for weeks about this deadline. This needs to be done by Friday, no exceptions, he'd said repeatedly. So of course, after I finally deployed the code at 4030 Thursday morning, I got the email. Effective this Friday, you'll be moved to a different team. We appreciate your hard work on Project Phoenix. The classic bait and switch. Work me to the bone, then kick me to the curb. Work me to the bone, then kick me to the curb. Thursday afternoon, with my last day looming, Henderson called me into his office. Just a quick meeting tomorrow to get you and Mark up to speed, he said, gesturing to the new guy who'd be taking over my code. We'll call it Knowledge Transfer Friday. I checked my calendar, nothing scheduled. That evening, however, an invite appeared for Friday, 7 a.m., 2 p.m. EST, that's 4 a.m., 11 a.m. for me in California. 4 tickets were attached, representing about 3 weeks' worth of work. Henderson really thought I could train Mark, explain months of complex code, develop 4 new features, and deploy them all in 7 hours, on my last day. The absurdity was almost impressive. Well, when life hands you ridiculous demands, you follow the rules to the letter. I logged in at 5 a.m., 2 hours before the meeting, and knocked out one easy scenario from the first ticket. When I joined the video call at 7 a.m., I smiled warmly and announced, just so you all know, I have a doctor's appointment at noon, so I'll need to wrap up and leave by 12,000 already. No one objected. The meeting began with me explaining absolutely everything about the codebase. This is the authentication class I wrote, I'd say, then spend 20 minutes walking through each method. And here's how the database connections work, I'd continue, showing every configuration file. When we finally got to the tickets, I chose the simplest one and demonstrated my workflow at a glacial pace. Narrating began with me explaining absolutely everything about the codebase. This is the At 12,025, I wrapped up with a few final thoughts and said my goodbyes. I'll check in after my appointment, I promised, knowing full well I wouldn't. My doctor's appointment consisted of watching Netflix and eating lunch at a reasonable hour. That evening, I logged in briefly, sent Mark a comprehensive but ultimately useless email with final pointers, and officially ended my employment relationship with the company. The following Monday, I heard through the grapevine that Henderson was furious that only 5% of the requested work had been completed. Mark was completely lost and had to request an extension on all the tickets. The moral of the story? If you want 3 weeks of work, you should probably budget 3 weeks. Don't try to cram it into 7 hours on someone's last day.